This time on Woody's Garage. Time to cram 5 pounds of poop into a 3-pound bag.
This is it, the HSSK5, or 50 I guess. 5 horsepower Tecumseh. This one had some stock engine bolts that broke off nastily. I could not find the center. I drilled them out incorrectly. But I don't know, I had to drill out like parts of the head, and like it was a real mess. But this thing also started right the hell up. The compression seems really good on it. It runs pretty good. And I think this is the one I'm going to use. Here's the bike I'm going to use it on. It's a Broncco Diablo. It used to have like a motorcycle engine thing, like a 75cc or something, 50, 75, 80 on it. That's long gone. I got it without that at a swap meet. And it took me a long time to try to find an engine that will fit inside this cradle. And I have this Tecumseh 3. This engine is almost brand new. I put it on there. I got everything working fine. I mean, I drove it around, but boy, it's wimpy. It's sluggish. It's just underpowered. Sprocket setup is not ideal. But, you know, I just said, like, well, I'll just use this. I'm not actually racing. I just go and I videotape the thing. And I need to get around to different locations. So I got to ride something or other. And I figured, like, yeah, put a bigger engine on this. And usually, you know, you find snow blowers everywhere. But they just weren't around this year. So, yeah, I'm going to use that HSSK. It looks like I measured it up. And it looks like it will also fit in the frame pretty well. The only thing I had to do was order a new clutch because it has a 1-inch shaft. And yeah, it should fit. But okay, one of the things, the throttle works great on this one, but I can't use the same setup. So I got to rethink that, and sure, there's something you can buy, but I'm not going to buy it. So I got to come up with something on that, so that's going to be probably the next thing I do. So I have some old snowblower linkage or lawnmower linkage setups, and I cut this part off of the bottom here, and I want to put it over here to hold the cable. Now this stuff, can you see that? Why are you not focusing? This stuff is kind of garbage. I just want to get rid of it. I'm not a big fan of governors because I'm not on the throttle like constantly, you know. It just bursts the speed now and then. So I'm going to take all this out and put something that'll just make a pivot in here. But it's got to be spring loaded too. I already tried a return spring up here. It's not going to stay like that, but I mean, it works really well, but it's kind of goofy. I want to make it at least look better. Yeah, so we got to take this cover off. That means taking these bolts out, which makes me feel a little bit worrisome. But I cleaned them up well. They should come out no problem at all. Yeah, evidence of JB Weld in that hole. But it came out okay. I think it looks good. Yeah, we're going to take off this assembly. Might end up putting it back on revised, but it's got 2 rivets. That one's going to be tough. Well, not really. I'll get the drill in there and I'll drill that thing out. It came out pretty cleanly. Now you notice on this thing, it's got these detents, so when you move the throttle, it kind of sticks in those things. And yeah, we don't want those. So, I mean, it's a good bracket. It sits right there. The rivets are gone, but you can bolt it back in. Yeah, I got to make this, so that's a good pivot point. You know, I can drill that out too. And I got more of these things kicking around anyway, or components like it, so, you know, if I screw it up, it's not a big deal. I am going to drill this out. Yeah, it came apart. There's a little detent plate. I like that a little adjuster there, but I'm not quite sure I can put it into use. And there's this little arm. And these arms off the older stuff, you know, might work better. Cable holder. Cable stop there. It's a little inconvenient that this is on the inside. I'd rather have it on the outside. Maybe we can change that. I was looking at this piece, and if I cut this lower L bracket thing off, then it could probably pivot like this. This end actually holding the cable, so it'd actually be this way. Pivoting, then drill a hole right there for the bar for this shit wire, and have it pivot right in the corner. Alright, it's kind of dark and I have to hand hold this, but this is the updates. I drilled a hole here and a hole there. And this, you can see it's on a piece of the wire. This would be anchored here so that when you pull the cable up, it'll open the throttle. So it needs to be pinned right about there, and then we can put a cable stop here. I hate to have the cable stop do all the work. Maybe I'll make something to hold the cable stop. And I guess we got to establish some kind of new pivot point here. This little piece that sticks out needs to go away, and these little things, so that nothing's in the way. This plate's really not ideal. Okay, we got the mock-up on the HSSK a little better. So that'll be a quick throttle, huh? You can see this, how it moves. Attached to the plate. Obviously we'll have to make something nice here so that that nut doesn't fall off, etc. You know, I was just thinking, which is dangerous, I'd like to have the throttle cable attached to this plate as well, because, you know, if you have to take off the housing and the throttle cable's attached to that, that's going to be kind of a pain in the ass. So, maybe we can get this guy, you know, attached to it up top there, you know, and the cable can be short, sweet. I like it. But also we got to make something down here that's going to hold the cable end. Yeah, I think I got it, and I like it. But there was some butchery involved, of course. Okay, first off, I had to put this extension on because I didn't want to mount this to the shroud. I decided I wanted it to be free. Now, will it clear the shroud? Well, we haven't tried that yet. I think so. But so this holds a cable, comes down to this. I took this bolt, drilled a hole through it. I got 3 washers so it'll pinch the cable there. The cable will be held up here. Then I'll pull it up and run this tensioned wire over to the governor arm, which will move the throttle. And the spring I'm still not crazy about, but it'll be something like that. I mean, because it works. One thing I had to do here is, I wish I maintained the length originally. I think there was more up here. I had to put this piece on, and I didn't have enough space in here to really get two nut and bolt combinations on here. So I took a nail and cut it off and used it as a rivet. and just squished it together and then put in one screw here. And that's totally firm. That's not going to go anyplace at all. Everything clears nicely. Yeah. Alright, we're doing the engine swap on the Broncco Minibike. We got the old 3-horse. A beautiful little engine is off. And we got to adapt the 5-horse to fit. Here's the 5-horse. One thing I wanted to do is get rid of this big mother. I hate how it sticks up. It looks so goofy, like, hey, I got a snowblower motor. Take this off. We took this H50, I think it's an H50, H70 or something, and we stole the dipstick out of it. It's also threaded here, so this works fine. Is it accurate? Not sure. I guess we can measure them up like this, huh? Let's see what we got. My glasses. It looks like this, like the original one, is a little bit higher. And if you see the oil level, since I stuck it in, is about right. So I think I'm going to scribe a new line in it. That would make sense, huh? And hopefully it's not too long for any reason, like might hit something. I guess that's something to think about. What's it going to hit? Nothing. Okay, I'm going to scribe a new line in it then, I think. Oh, also, I changed out the oil tube because it stuck out too far. It was going right over the rear brake on the mini bike, so I put that one on the old H50 and put that one on there. I got parts from every motor in this thing, because I had to take also this shield here from an H50. I couldn't find that one. I think I got one of those kicking around. I would like the blower housing covered. I've always debated, you know, since it's not on a snowblower now, it's going on a mini bike, the wind going by it will cool the fins, but a snowblower is all encased because it's not really moving through the air. So they rely on the blower to cool off the fins and stuff like that. So I don't really know which way to go on that. I also rethreaded this tube because the way the gas tank comes off, the petcock sticks out in the front, so it'd be nice curve right down to here, rather than trying to curve it all the way back and down like that. Little trick to this: use a coat hanger, put a hook on the end, stick it in there, then put some duct tape around it and pull it through. You can try going through the front or the back, but it's easier than taking off the shroud, that's for sure. Also, this big dong shaft here. This thing is gigantic. Let's see. This is your normal size. Measurement right about there. And this is where it comes to here. So I'm going to have to cut off quite a bit. The keyway extends only that far. Now I'm getting the clutch today, should be here. I am turning the clutch around. It's one of those clutches with the built-in key. So I have to see how big that is and how far it extends into the shaft. I may have to try to extend this with a Dremel or something. I don't know. Don't feel good about doing that, but I got to do it. So we'll wait for the clutch on that. Otherwise, boy, that looks better, huh? I mean, that looks better. Looking at the engine while I'm doing the camera. This is kind of bogus. We got it blocked off, but this carb is not adjustable. And you start to think, like, you know, if it's made for a snowblower, Is the jetting more rich for the winter or maybe leaner? I don't really know. It had a cover on this jet over here, but I removed that, I remember, long ago. It's running good on that carb. You know, why monkey around and switch it? So I think maybe we'll just try to go with this carb and we'll see what's up. I'm going to have to put the air filter on it too, and I had some clearance issues with the mini bike. I'll show you. I had this on the jack shaft here. I had this really nice stabilizer bar right in here that was adjustable to hold it nice and tight. But right now the carburetor is a little bit lower than the 3 horsepower was, so it was hitting that stabilizer. So I got to move this, and I was thinking, where should it go? You know, back here. Well, that's gonna, you know, sure, you can put it there, but it's not as nice as in the center. I mean, you're kind of pinching it this way now so that, you know, you get a little like this. If you tweak it, it's not going to be holding that bearing like quite right. And I also thought of down here. Is it really necessary? I don't know. That thing's pretty rock hard, you know. I mean, I think it's going to stay, but it's a shame to lose that. Otherwise, I also have to do a cutout here for the throttle setup. Is it going to weaken it? Yeah, maybe a little bit. So those are negatives, but it's something that has to be done in order to fit this engine. Well, in case you were looking at this and going like, why is there a sprocket here? Well, this is just a smaller lower tooth sprocket than that one, than this one. And I bought this because it the mini bike seemed to have no get up and go. So I figured I'd go a little bit lower, and yeah, now I'm going to the 5, so will I have enough get up and go? I don't know. I still think I'm going to put this on and yeah, swap them out, I guess. In reality, I'm trying to avoid taking the jack shaft off. Obviously, this is a homemade setup. So is the engine plate. But they work well, you know. It was tough trying to get all this stuff in here. You know, you have to clear the swing arm. The swing arm's got to move, so, you know, this chain can't be slapping into it and all this stuff. So, I think we have a pretty solid setup. A lot of action on that birdhouse right there. Okay, we cut the notch out for the throttle. Could grind it off the hard edges. I'm starting to think like, yeah, I think I'm going to move this to right here. I think it's better than down here, because there's already a lot of support here. Not only is there the plate, but there's this insert that sits here that holds this down. And again, we have an air filter to deal with, and I did not try it on that engine. So, you know, you're also probably saying, why don't you put it right here? Well, it hits a chain. Is it really necessary? No, that thing's pretty damn hard. You know, there's not much flex to it. But I would like the added support. Okay, I'm going to drill another hole up here. What's it going to hurt, right? It's just going to look ugly. A new clutch came in. Yeah, 1 inch, 1 inch. That's as far as we go on. Notice that keyway. Now look at this keyway. We're having the good old days when they used to like not put a key in these damn things. Cater to the predator people. Yeah, so, and this also has to go about this far. I've never done one before. I'm hoping for the best. I'm gonna have to look at some maybe YouTube videos and how people approached it. I know Jeep said he did one. Yeah, this one's looking like it's 3/16. And the one in the clutch looks like it's a 1/4 inch, or just a little under a 1/4 inch. Yeah, I thought of this. Not going to get much closer than right there. And you got to go to here. Dremel, I took this little tiny grinding stone just to see what it would do. And it's kind of surprising that it does do something. Not a lot though. And a lot of time here. I think the cutting wheel on the Dremel is probably going to be about the best. Well, this is my setup. I got a couple of pieces of wood to hold the Dremel on while it, I taped off the lines and stuff like that. No, I didn't look at any YouTube videos. I'm too anxious. I want to see what happens. And yeah, I'm trying to push it along. It won't go any deeper than what's already there, as long as you hold the Dremel down flat. So I'm just going to try to follow that line just on this side for now. This side, and see how it goes. Well, I also got this Dremel. The other one's a cordless, which I bought. This one I got at a flea market. It was like brand new for like $3, and its speed is like much faster, and it seems to cut a lot better. So we'll be using this one. That's the better tool for sure. Cuts really fast. Going to go through cutting wheels really fast too. But, I mean, I sort of have this line established. This line is going to be trickier because not only am I going to follow the keyway, it's got to be wider. Do I do the widening now? Or, I'm not sure how I'm going to get this thing wider. Maybe using that grinding wheel thing. Mini grinding wheel after I cut it. Well, all this material's got to come out anyway, and I think it's only going to come out by cutting. You can't grind that out. You can't chisel it out.